what car isn't similar? My God, that pickup truck was atrocious. Hello everybody and welcome to today's review. Today is going to be a little bit different. I'm still very tired, but I'll explain why. This is a 2023 Toyota Prius. All new, literally looks nothing like past Prius. Now the reason I'm tired is because this was a rental for a road trip that I took and went from Pennsylvania to Texas. I got this car brand new, 4 miles on it. It has just under 3,500 miles now. Thing's ready for its oil change. I got to drive it for a long time, for you know, very, very long drive. And yeah, so this review, I'm just gonna kind of cruise and I'm gonna tell you everything, what I feel about things. It's also raining, but all in all, this is pretty nice. It's a neat car. Of course, along with the changes of the outside, changes inside and under the hood, packing a 150 horsepower 4-cylinder engine with the electric motor, combined is about 196 horsepower, which is really good for a Prius. It's sufficient for what the car is. The car weighs just, what, a little over 3,000 pounds. Very sufficient. These start around 28,000. This is the LE. This is the low-end no-frills model. One thing I love about this, I like that. Like it's not the, you know. That's pretty neat. I like that. That's one of my favorite things about this car. The styling overall is very nice, but you know, it kind of dawned on me, why does this shape look familiar? And the more and more I thought about it, the shape kind of reminds me of a Tesla Model Y. So this is kind of like a baby Y. Like the whole thing, like the way the rear cuts off, and even though Priuses have always kind of cut off like that, but it's just, there's something about it. It reminds this. It looks, to me, it looks like a baby Tesla Model Y. Of course, I'm sure people are gonna argue that. So one cool thing I do like is how these back doors open. It's actually a pop button back here. You kind of just, if I have the doors fully unlocked, I can show you. The way the back door is, the door handle's integrated into the design back here, and it's actually a pop button that you push it and it pops open. It's a little button back there. I like that. It's pretty neat. Coming back here, you can see that the slope is pretty long. Like both the front and the rear windows are like super long and like almost flat. One thing I kind of don't like, and I don't know if that's all of them are like this, considering how it is, and it is a liftback, there's no wiper here. This would bother me a little bit. Of course, it tells you that it's a hybrid EV. The emblem is it looks like it's just, it almost looks like a sticker back here. But it's not a like protruding emblem. It's kind of like a flat one. And yeah. Here's the camera. Under here is where you pop the trunk. Tail light. This doesn't light up on this one. It might on other models. I don't know. That would be cool. But one thing I noticed, these are the turn signals, right? Your reverse lights are here and here. Why are they so low? What is it with companies putting things like damn near on the ground? Like, I don't understand. So popping the trunk's very easy. You got a pop button there. The trunk space is pretty big. I did find it was a little tight because we had a whole bunch of things. I had a suitcase, a couple, you know, there was a duffel bag, many other things. But all in all, it was okay because this is on string, so it's very flexible and it's very thin. So, you know, it lifted up, still had plenty of room. And, you know, if you want to be technical, you can go all the way up to the window, but, you know, come up here. You got your grab handle here, and very easy, open and close. With the way this is set up, you spill gas, it's just gonna pond here. There's no way for it to go away. You know, if you spill gas here, still, and yeah, it's weird and like in there. But yeah, once inside, you can see it has a very simple dash design. You have this pretty much mid-shelf. This is pretty neat. You got your climate controls here, which are fairly simple, easy to figure out. It has this infotainment screen. I can't remember the size, but it also has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And I have to say that it's pretty quick to react. Like it does move around nicely. It's you know, it's not slow. Up here you have your map light controls. You also have your information about this door security, airbag on and off. The mirror is pretty nice. It's not bad, you know. Visors, light. Oh. Though, does it? Oh. Well, I know Yuri would be upset. I sure am. This is interesting. I noticed, I haven't messed with it yet, the Toyota EV, the BZR, whatever they named it. And I'm noticing the wheel's very similar. The way this is here and this is far back. I'm not sure if it's like the same screen. Look at that. It says Prius there. The interior is very, very nice. It's not bad, but to me, it doesn't scream $28,000 nice. Everything is very, very nice. It has piano black stuff here that I don't like. I side with straight pipes on that. I hate fingerprinting piano black stuff. Like this stuff I like. You have USB-C charging like everywhere. There's two here. There's two in the back. Yeah, there's a little cubby there. Now, one thing I did notice, there's a whole bunch of USB-C, but there is no regular USB. So whatever you have has to have USB-C, which sucked because I had my dash cam with me, and it is a micro USB to a regular USB. The 12-volt socket thing you can use, but I still found that problem a little problematic. I would like if there was a regular USB for it. Down here you got your goofy shifter where you kind of go over for reverse and then you go for drive and then park. Sorry for that beeping, it's because the door's open. You have your drive modes. Of course you have Eco, Normal, Sport, and then Custom is where you can change a couple things. Custom drive mode, you can change the way this powertrain reacts, the way the steering and the air conditioner between Sport, Normal, and Eco. What's with these hashtags? Hashtag side tray. Okay. Hold on. Hashtag. What does that say? I don't even know. I can't read. Oh, hidden compartment. Hold on. Gets better. If I can do this, I can do this. It gets better. Oh, hashtag cup holders. Why? What is that? Why are we hashtagging stuff? Why is that? Prius. Oh, hey. Prius. Hybrid reborn. I know the hood looks very, very, very intricate. Whole bunch of stuff. Yep. That's stuff. Okay. Good to know. I had this, of course, for a very good while. I did a 1,600 mile drive in it. So I can tell you a good amount of things. One thing is, of course, the Android Auto and everything is phenomenal. It functions well. The ride quality is there. And unfortunately, I've never had a Prius on my radar, because it's a Prius. Nobody really has. And of course, these things are always purchased because they're very fuel efficient. They're hybrids. They're very good at being a hybrid. But they were also very slow, lacked any decent amount of power. And nowadays, in order to get anywhere, you got to have a little bit of power to merge on the highway. Highways are insane. Now, this thing has plenty of power to be on the highway. It's not bad. It has plenty of passing power. The power comes on strong, comes on quick. The steering wheel is very small, for me at least. It's almost go-karty. Handling overall is pretty good. It holds the road well. It doesn't feel like it has a whole lot of body roll. It feels fairly good, fairly stiff. Of course, this isn't a car to throw around. This isn't a race car. You're not gonna go take this to Watkins Glen and try to rip some lap times. I'm saying you could. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could. Miles per gallon on these are about 50, was it 53, 50, no, 56 city, 57 highway? That's somewhere around there. We did a lot of highway drive. It was all highway driving. And the problem with that is when you go further down south, the speed limit is higher. So you're moving at higher speeds, traffic flow and whatever. But overall for the trip with, we'll say with a heavy foot, we got about 45.5 miles per gallon, which with a heavy foot is phenomenal. That's not horrible. Now, of course, if you drive conservatively, you're gonna get that 50, 55. You're going to you can get probably up to 60 miles per gallon in this thing if you're driving very conservative. I have a fair amount of negatives on this car just because it drives me nuts. Everything is a hard, almost every surface in this is a hard, scratchy surface. It's hard, plasticky, everything. This is plastic. This is like a rough plastic, really hard. Everything's hard plastic for the most part. And I mean, it's like a scratchy plastic, and it kind of drove me nuts. I thought my watch was gonna scratch things, my ring. It was a lot of very hard plasticky stuff in here. That's one of the things I don't like. And another thing is the lack of cup holders. I understand in the higher model, the XLE I think it is, there is an additional set of cup holders. In this model, we only have 2 cup holders. That's it, in the front. Nothing in the back. Nothing. And it's kind of a disappointment. Why do you have to have an upgraded model for cup holders? You know what I mean? It's 2023, man. Get some cup holders on this thing. The road noise in this vehicle is kind of up there. Especially when you're hitting those loud sections of concrete on the highway, or even rough road. When you hit rough roads on the highway, if you hit just a crappy patch, oh my goodness, that crappy part of the road, you hear it. You absolutely hear it. Oh yeah. See, once the road gets rough, you hear everything with a dull, deep sound. If you're on a road trip and you're the one napping and you hit a section of highway at 75 miles an hour that's rough, it wakes you up. It absolutely wakes you up. Besides the road noise, when the engine is running, when it's being used for power, you know it. Because only when you're accelerating, you really know it. It is very unsophisticated. It's very obnoxiously loud, and it just screams. It's like an old school CVT where it just brings the motor all the way up. Here, I will show you guys. Listen to this thing. It is just loud. And I don't understand why it's so aggressively loud. So other than those little peeves of mine, it is an okay car, but I don't know. I just can't. I wish I had power seats for at least, you know, that price point of $28,000, because, you know, at $28,000 you expect a decent amount of stuff. And on the highway, when you get to higher speeds, it gets harder and harder to be able to transition into, you know, EV mode between there. And I noticed when accelerating, it does not take much to have to call on the gasoline engine in this. Of course, it has an EV mode, but as soon as you really need to accelerate more than what it can handle, it immediately calls for the gasoline engine, which kind of just voids the whole purpose of having the EV only button. The EV mode in this, I swear, it doesn't work on actual driving. For a parking lot, you know, maybe a parking lot or in town, sure, but as soon as, like, if you have to take, you know, move from a stoplight, it's terrible. Like, I can put an EV only mode right now, right? EV only mode. I just have to accelerate. You see that? Accelerator pushed too far. It wasn't pushed that far. It really wasn't. To me, that's kind of a letdown. Because, like, in the Fusion Titanium, I was able to put an EV mode, lock an EV mode, and floor it. And it was a dog. But it didn't call automatically on the engine. I could have made it. I could have hit OK on this button because it came up to engage the electric motor, but it asked you if you, engage the gasoline motor, but it asked you. It wanted your input to know if you wanted to do that, which I like. But again, like I said, there's not much give with this, with the electric motor in this. It doesn't have a lot of yeah, I understand it's only what, a 50, it's only like what, a 46 horsepower electric motor, which is horrible, but it's still something. It's a very nice car. It really is. But it definitely, it feels cheap to me. There's like barely any sound deadening, and these seats are horrible. They are just six-way manual seats. But that's not my problem with it. My problem that I have with it is there is zero lumbar support in this thing. These seats are terrible for driving. There's no lumbar support. Oh, it drove me nuts. It's like my back is just scooped in there. You gotta have lumbar supports in these seats, even in the basic model. Let's go, Toyota. Let's go. The adaptive cruise control system works nice, except there's many issues. Again, I hate that I have so many negatives on this car, because it looks great, it drives great, it handles great. The adaptive cruise control is a little off. It functions well to a certain degree. Now, of course, this has the lane keep assist and all that, where it'll keep you in your lane. Now, of course, I did test this out to see how long I keep my hands off the wheel. And it didn't last long. Like you gotta keep, you know, nudge it. You can keep doing, if you keep nudging it, you're good. You just nudge it every so often. But one problem I do have is the lane tracing is horrible. It likes to just bounce off. It gets so confused when there's an off ramp. It wants to drive off the highway at that point. It has the corrections. It's not smooth. Like, you could just feel the wheel just just left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Kind of like if you were on a PlayStation, just like that. When you're in adaptive cruise control, I have it on the closest setting. And now what I noticed, the car judges how fast the car is going in front of you and you coming up to it. So if they're going slightly less and you're coming up to the car, it starts dropping off the speed really far back. I kind of like it too much, because when I'm cruising on the highway, I like to maintain my speed. Like, just keep going, you know. You put your turn signal on as soon as you move. Yeah, you get you know, it goes back to, accelerates back to your speed. Now, that's not really fuel efficient, because it has to accelerate hard to get back to that speed, instead of gradually slowing down as you come up. It slows down, like, maybe it starts slowing down maybe like over 1,000 feet away. No, more than that. I don't even, maybe like 1,500 feet away, it starts to slow down, drop back. Well, all in all, my take, it's not a bad first car. It's not horrible, but it's also not great. But of course, the Prius is here mostly for fuel efficiency. I wish that this lower end model had a little bit more in the option department. Because just the cup holders. Why no cup holders in the back? And then again, this engine is just, there it goes. It's just, it is just loud. But yeah, that's my take. I like the design overall, inside and out. I think it's great. Kudos to Toyota for changing it up and making the Prius look good. Made the Prius an awesome looking car. Still, obviously, the word Prius, it carries a little bit of weight. It's still a car that people are like, Prius. Well, thanks, guys. I told you guys as much as I know. I enjoyed the car. It was fun. A lot of good tech standard on this thing for being the basic model. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching my video. I want to thank everybody for subscribing. Thank you, Cynthia, my Patreon. If you want to support the channel, I'll leave the link down below. And yeah, hopefully I get more free time opened up, do some more things. Also, of course, this wasn't a paid thing at all, because I needed a car and whatever. Saying, if Toyota, you're watching, if you want to drive a Prius, or you want to rent any Toyota, you know, one of the Toyota models that are on the lineup right now, go on to Toyota.com and you can actually find, all the way in the bottom, there's a section called Rent a Toyota, and that's actually how I got this. You can rent a Toyota. It's actually relatively cheap. I think it's a very good price, and you might get a brand new car like I did. It had 4 miles on it. That was amazing. Subscribe.